Have you ever wondered why two people can walk into the same room at the same moment and leave with entirely different experiences? One person sees opportunity, another sees nothing at all. One feels alive, another feels trapped. What if? The difference isn't in the world itself, but in the mind that perceives it. There is a law, quiet, hidden, ancient, a law so subtle that most of us never even notice it. And yet it shapes everything, every thought, every feeling, every experience you've ever had. It is the law of mentalism. The truth that reality as you know it begins in the mind. Pause for a moment. Feel those words. Reality begins in the mind, not out there, not in the world, but here in the invisible space of thought and awareness. At first it sounds too simple, too obvious, but look closer. Every action you've ever taken began as a thought. Every emotion you've ever felt colored the way you saw the world. Every belief you've ever carried filtered reality itself. The world you live in is not the raw world. It is the world shaped, interpreted, and animated by your mind. Think of the last time you were lost in worry. Did the world feel safe? Or did it feel threatening, heavy, uncertain? Now think of a time when you were deeply in love. Did the world look the same? The buildings, the sky, the streets, they were unchanged. But you weren't. And so reality itself appeared transformed. This is the essence of mentalism. That the mind is not a passive mirror reflecting the world. It is the painter's brush, the lens, the architect. And what you see outside is always a reflection of what is happening inside. But here lies the question. If your mind is shaping your world, then who is shaping your mind? Is it you? Or is it the countless influences, voices, and memories that whisper inside your head? For most of us, the mind runs on autopilot. Thoughts repeat, fears replay. Old wounds dictate our choices. And so, without realizing it, we live inside a world that is not chosen, but inherited, not designed, but accidental. Imagine walking through life wearing tinted glasses without ever knowing they were on. You'd swear the world itself was colored when in truth it was only your lens. This is how most of us live, unaware that the world we see is painted by the mind we carry. But here's the secret. If the mind can shape reality unconsciously, then it can shape it consciously. If the world you see is born of thought, then by shifting thought, you can shift the very fabric of your experience. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is practical alchemy. The ability to transform your reality by transforming the patterns of your mind. Consider this. Every time you focus on lack, you live in a world of scarcity. Every time you dwell on fear, you walk through a world of danger. Every time you fixate on doubt, every door seems closed. But when you choose to focus on possibility, suddenly opportunities appear. When you carry gratitude, even the smallest things shine. When you hold a vision with clarity and intention, the world bends itself toward it. It may sound magical. It is not magic. It is alignment. Your mind is the blueprint. Reality is the construction. The two cannot be separated. But here's where most people stop. They hear the idea. They nod. They say, yes, thoughts are powerful. And then they change nothing. They go back to letting the same thoughts run their lives, unaware that every repetition is reinforcing the same reality. So how do you harness it? How do you make the law of mentalism more than an idea? How do you turn it into a technique that changes everything? It begins with awareness, because you cannot transform what you do not see. Sit quietly for a moment. Watch your thoughts. Don't judge. Don't resist. Just notice. You may be shocked at what you find. The endless chatter, the rehearsed arguments, and the fears on repeat. The mind left alone is like a wild river, pulling you in 1,000 directions. But the moment you notice it, the moment you step back, something shifts. You are no longer lost in the current. You are standing on the shore, watching the water flow. And in that shift lies your first taste of freedom. Because once you see that thoughts are not commands, but passing clouds, you can begin to choose. You can ask, does this thought serve me? Does this belief uplift me or confine me? Does this story open doors or close them? And in that moment, you reclaim the brush. You begin to paint reality on purpose, but awareness alone is not enough. The mind loves to slip back into old grooves. That is why the next step is practice, deliberate practice. To shape thought the way a sculptor shapes clay. Every day, in small ways, you begin to redirect. Replace fear with possibility. Replace judgment with curiosity. Replace despair with vision. At first, it feels forced, artificial, like pretending. But slowly, something happens. The grooves in your mind begin to shift. The energy of your life begins to change. And the world begins to mirror it back. And then one day you realize something profound. The law of mentalism was never about forcing the world to bend to your will. It was about remembering that you were never separate from the world to begin with, that the mind and reality are not two. They are one continuous field, reflecting each other endlessly. Pause and breathe. Let that sink in. The world you live in is not fixed. It is fluid, alive, responsive. And the key lies not out there, but in here, in the quiet space of thought and intention. So when you wake tomorrow, ask yourself, what reality will I create today? Will I unconsciously recycle yesterday's fears? Or will I consciously choose a new vision? Will I see limitation or possibility? Separation or connection? Lack or abundance? Because here is the truth. No one told you. Every thought is a seed, and the world you see is the harvest. Plant with care. Nurture with attention. And in time, the garden of your life will transform. And when it does, you will look back and smile. Because you will know, it wasn't the world that changed. It was you.